Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Wolfenstein's A New Order. Welcome and bienvenue. Welcome. I'm the Mysterious JG, and as we begin this chapter, we find out that it's 1960. We're in Nazi-occupied Poland, which isn't really that big of a deal because Poland was one of the first countries occupied by the Nazis, and the Nazis at this point seemingly occupy the entire world. We saw a letter about how the Nazis were continuing to face resistance from fighters in Africa. Pardon me, I keep adjusting my headset here. I apologize. And yeah, that sounds like there's still resistance to the Nazis, but that was from Chapter 1, which is set back in 1946. So I'm thinking that, like, yeah, the Nazis pretty much ruled the entire world at this point. So it's up to our hero, Blaskowitz, aka the Marine, John Cena, to save the day. And the first step in that plan is to find out where the resistance is, because he's assuming there's resistance. I mean, no, there's no way everyone just gave themselves over heart and soul to the Nazis. Somebody's got to be fighting the Nazis. Anya's parents say they've all been captured and they don't know where they're being held. And Blaskowitz seems to think he might know how to find out.
Do you know how much misfortune you are in? If you do not release me, there is no point in keeping me here.
Hmm.
I will be very lenient to you and the nurse and her family if you let me go immediately.
Lenient.
You have my word on this.
What's more balls than the word of a Nazi? Okay, well, I'll think about it. Meanwhile, what am I meant to be doing? You know, the fans have been asking me to turn heel for a long time. I'm sick of the Cena sucks chants. Maybe I'll go a little heel on you, buddy. First of all, I remember where I kept not being able to find the armor bonus in this stage. In fact,
Just unfair in dealing with people like you. Do you realize who I am?
oh yeah, you told me.
It would serve you well if you stop what you are doing and release me.
But it was hidden in here, and indeed, the health upgrade, one of the two health upgrades in this stage, is also hidden in that same place. See, the next part of this is like run and gun action, like the game is mostly made up of, and I didn't realize there was a health bonus hidden here. I was searching all over that stage for an armor bonus. What happened to the Matawiz serial killer? Matawiz, October 8th, 1960. It has been almost 5 years now since the murder stopped, but people have not forgotten the ruthless serial killer of Matawiz. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. What drove this killer to murder innocent German men with such calculated and cold-hearted brutality? Why could the authorities not stop him? We take a look into the investigation of how the murders still haunt the people of Matawiz. That wouldn't have meant too much to me. I've played through the game now, so I actually now know a little bit more about what that's about. And it's kind of interesting. But we are not meant to know about it yet. So there's a chainsaw. You're like, yes, Cena sucks, eh? No, it's time for that heel turn I've been putting off for so long. But you try to use it, need splatter protection. In fact, the apron we already got and this are part of it.
Damn lunatic that I am superior to people like you.
Am I? Are you?
Warum hörst du nicht, du Schwachkopf?
I am listening. I don't like that. You know, you're in this position. It's not the time to be saying, "I'm superior to dumb people like you." Schweinhund. Yeah, it's time to turn heel. I gotta pretend that you're Randy Orton in that chair. No, better yet, Daniel Bryan. You're Dolph Ziggler sitting in that chair. Any of those internet fan darlings. Oh, this is what you got coming. Go. I am hitting the button to do that, folks. Punch the daylights out of him. Man, he took me down below 100 health again, though.
Let me tell you how this is gonna work. I'm gonna ask you one question. You are gonna answer that question in a way I find satisfactory, and if you do not, I will saw your head off with this here appliance, you hear me?
Of course, I can only do
So
it
here it
once,
comes.
so,
Where
no
are you
warning
people
shot.
keeping the captured resistance fighters?
I'm sure. I don't know what you're talking about. There is no resistance.
Pretty cocky, all things considered.
Zur Hölle mit dir und deinem verdammten Widerstand! Stop! Okay, I'll tell you! Damn it!
Oh, that sounds the same in English as it does in German.
The resistance fighters, where are
Yeah,
they?
he already asked you. Where are they?
Eisenwald, Presen. But you'll never make it there. There are checkpoints everywhere. Looking for you and the nurse. And soon they will find this place. And then you will be on your knees!
I wouldn't have said that if I were you. I would have stopped just a sentence or two before you did there, buddy.
Gotowy. Jesteś przystojny chłop, panie Błaskowicz.
Oh,
Nie
thank
taki
you.
przystojny jak ja, ale nieźle. Pilnuj jej. Rozumiemy się? Albo ja cię znajdę i zrobię ci krzywdę.
Rozumiem.
Yeah, I got you.
Dobrze.
You're totally gonna kill my grandpa, sure. You know how many Nazis I've
wybieramy
murdered?
się do Berlina.
Yeah, I respect the sentiment, Grandpa, but
We ask for your mercy.
I already have dual-wield rocket
as we
launchers
make
because
the
I played through the
journey
game.
across dark waters. Grant us sound feet and silent breath,
Sound.
refuge from the storm.
Join hands.
Ihre Papiere.
And safe passage.
Your papers,
Midst
that guy.
rebels.
Oh, we're coming to kill you, John Cena. Oh, okay. Well, that's taken care of.
Take my hand.
I'm a stranger in paradise.
The road is not safe. You kill the Nazis. Here, I stay with Karl.
Keep your hands in there so that it doesn't get killed.
Wait for you
Your hand
here.
doesn't get killed.
Kill everyone.
Well, wait a second. Are you waiting here or are you killing everyone? Because everyone's not going to come within range of your car.
We haul precious cargo. We have a train to catch.
So yeah, even though there's...
The Nazis.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks, buddy. Even though I was frickin' collected all these weapons in the last stage and have been with friends planning to fight the Nazis, since that time, I'm now down to a mostly empty, although I've got 8 rockets, machine gun, and a single knife. I also no longer have body armor. Now I have 50. Get some marksman ammo, even though I do not have, and in this LP so far have not had that gun. This door is locked. So, it would appear that having obtained the map in a previous play in the other timeline, I will start out with a master of these stages, which, you know, if it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother me. In fact, we got 2 buildings. You see sort of halfway up the map there, we are the Green Arrow, of course. Member of the Justice League. They were supposed to go north, straight north, and there's a kind of a big roadblock right up at the front there. Sorry, about halfway up the map there's a massive roadblock. All those buildings off to the right are actually the interior sections of that big building. There's 2 small buildings in front of us. The northern of the 2 small buildings is the one that has that exclamation point. Our first chunk of the stage is going to be clearing those 2. Then we have to clear that big building in the middle, and then there'll be another section north of the big building. And as ever, I'm going to try to be as sneaky as possible. Foxiest of hounds, as they say. I will not necessarily be able to accomplish this at all times, but it's my preferred way to do things. Even if you start this way and fail, and then have to switch to like run and gun, usually just taking out a few guys first helps, if nothing else. I'm going to grab that silenced pistol. It will actually be... well, I just unsilenced it, I'll resilence it. That'll be quite useful in trying to quietly make our way through this. Okay, that sucked. Almost completely blew it there. I shot him dead in the back and he just kind of kept coming. Anyway, we don't want to have a bunch of extra guys around to spot us. Each of these little buildings, we are currently outside of one of the two buildings on the bottom floor. There's multiple floors. Damn it. You know what? Fuck this. I'm sorry. Starting over. Yeah, they don't really make it easy to kill guys undetected from a distance. There is a sniper rifle that you can get in this stage, or they call the marksman, which can act as a sniper rifle, and it's really loud. If you fire it and there's any guards still kicking, they are going to hear it and come after you. But no, I just really didn't do particularly well there, and I feel like even though I was saying you don't have to, you can run and gun your way through. You don't have to do perfect stealth run or anything like that. It'll actually, I think, in that circumstance, it's gonna be faster to just go back and try to do a little smoother job than it would be to. Actually, here there's no particular reason to even use the silenced pistol. But I will have one here in a moment. I'm going to ignore that guy out in the street for now. And try to find this officer. The officer. He is heading around the corner. Oh, he's coming this way. Oh, I better aim at him fast. Because I think he's actually coming. Maybe he's not. So that's at least one down. Unfortunately, the other one is indoors and is rather more difficult to get to. Now, if I was playing the other timeline, I can remember Fergus's name. Apparently I can't because I called him Fergal. I can never remember the name of the guy whose storyline I actually did, but if we had rescued the other guy, we'd be able to get through that door. Now, actually, I'm not sure how we would get in there, because getting into this building is the key to getting the marksman rifle that I mentioned. But I also mentioned that the marksman rifle makes a lot of noise and is therefore not particularly good for... It's great for killing people from a distance, farther away than they can reliably shoot at you, but it's not actually going to be useful for maintaining a low profile. So that was a bit better. I actually got a headshot, but I was firing a second round just in case. Sometimes getting 3 or 4 bullets into the torso is just fine. This door is blocked. good headshot. There is stuff down there at ground level. That might be of some interest. And normally when you're trying to sneak, you don't want to be moving across a catwalk between two buildings, where there's really no place to hide. But I think I remember the guard layout, and I don't think this is going to cost us severely. Matter of fact, entering this building on the second floor might be good, because it'll bring us fairly close to where we actually want to be to get this officer. Guys screaming in death don't tend to attract as much attention as you'd think. Although, if a Nazi is actually looking, has line of sight on another Nazi as they die, they are going to respond. So it is neither the best nor the worst guard AI when it comes to dealing with somebody sneaking around, killing their individual dudes. Take this guy out, we'll be in pretty good shape. Double check that there's no one over here. As if he's facing us, I'll need to be able to kill him fairly quickly. But as I had hoped, he's facing away. Alright, so there are... Oh!
Back to the car.
Well, I'm surprised, actually. That means he was the last guy. I thought there would be more than that. Typically, Blazkowicz doesn't say something, won't say things like that until all the enemies in the area are clear. So let's see, where are we going to find... So now we're in that mode, and I apologize for this already, but we're in that mode where we are searching carefully for the second health upgrade. It could pop up anytime. I want to find it on the first try. Other little stuff like Enigma passwords and gold crap, like this looks like a gold collectible, it isn't. Other stuff like that that might have been around will not be around because I already collected the previous run. Sorry about that. You guys, anybody who's watching this and hoping to use this so that they can find the collectibles in their own off-screening of the game, or just playing of the game, I suppose. No, my LP will not serve you particularly well for that purpose. However, you can't pick up a knife. Thinking that I'm seeing another knife that you can pick up. There's bullets. It's over here. There's nothing marked as being an interesting item of any kind in the area that I can currently access. But I do want to, at least look and try not to miss. Here's a Bester Vater den ganzen Welt mug, which is a grammatically completely furchtbar way to try to say world's greatest dad in German. I'm sure the actual phrasing is totally different from what I said, but... Grosser Vater den Welt. Yeah, looking, hoping to find some cool health power-up, and it isn't happening. So if we get all the way out of the stage without finding a health power-up, then I'm just going to have to off-screen grab it with the help of a FAQ or something. And if that is what ends up happening, I'll try to remember to tell you guys where it was. Yeah, really, there weren't that many. There's 2 guards, kind of 2 or 3 guards in each building. There wasn't a whole lot of guards around here, honestly. This might be a good place to hide a. There was definitely like a gold collectible or some crap like that over here before, I think. Ammo. Tesla grenades, which are like regular grenades, but more Tesla. They have like an EMP effect, I think. They're temporarily shut down robotic enemies, of which there will be quite a few, this being a game about a dystopian comic book future with crazy Nazi war technology. Can't get in there. Yeah, so I don't think there's any way to actually get up to, darn, that was foolish. Didn't really cause me any great long-term problems, though. So keep your eyes peeled, folks, for anything that will allow us to, hotwire. You know what, that might be worth grabbing. Because we're coming up on a section, momentarily where we will not be able to use stealth, at least initially. We'll be auto-detected due to plot events by something fairly soon. So, oh, and it's an energy weapon. Thought I remembered this one being bullet powered, but no, this is actually an energy weapon. I am going to leave this energy weapon over here. And you'll find out why later. Meanwhile, we've been instructed to run back to the car / truck, whatever it is. So let's do that. Missed some ammo. Because there's a guy killed over there. Grab onto my wife.
Good name for an old dame.
So Granny killed a dude. And now that door's open, and that's how we have to proceed. I'm pretty sure there's no other way for us to go. You can't get into there. You'll eventually come back here, but only after you've sort of fought your way through from... There's this bridge connecting them eventually. You get into this building, you explore it, you cross over into this one. It's the bulk of the stage is dealing with these 2 connected buildings. And this is why I brought this this thing over here, because thanks to Granny killing this guy, we're like automatically detected. I'm not really going to have the option of stealthing my way through this. They already know I'm here. Now, in fairness, if Granny hadn't shot that guy... Oh, hey. Armor. That guy came out here to attack. Or... He's gonna throw more grenades, yeah. This rips right through their cover, as long as their cover is made of wood. Problem is, it's an energy weapon. We'll come across energy weapons in later stages where there are actually machines around that recharge them. This particular stage doesn't have any of them yet because energy weapons are not a big part of this game at this point. Basically, it just means it has very limited ammo. We've used almost half of it, but we've cleared this room out without taking any damage. The instant I say it. I don't think this stage has the stuff that recharges energy weapons. And in fact, the ammo would be out by now if I hadn't gotten perks that give you, you know, higher battery life or whatever. So I'll keep my eyes peeled, but I'm not expecting to see anything that's going to allow us to recharge this weapon. I guess I'll take a second and look at these boxes, but I'm always surprised to have found something useful in there. And in that one too. That's 2 in a row. There's an elevator that we could be playing with. Yeah, more of what I was expecting to find were health boosts, which I don't need. Any of these have armor in them? Nope. Well, I'll just use this till it runs out of ammo, I guess. Can't run while you're equipping it. Kind of a problem. Not a huge deal. Suppose if anybody over there was paying any attention at all, they would have heard all that. Seem to have rather cleared the place of enemies. We're not actually done with this side of the building, though. If there was another way to go, I'd like to kind of clear the building out before I move on to the other side of the same main building. But I also need to check how long the video is, because I've lost track, and it's pretty much time to end it. So when we come back, folks, we're going to continue trying to clear the roadblock of Nazis. Because Anya's in the trunk of a car, or truck rather, being driven by her grandparents, that just rolls up to a Nazi checkpoint and stops, while somebody gets out of the back and goes and murders all the Nazis. And apparently, previously, Gramps noticed Nazis in time. He stopped before the Nazis would have seen him. Which I guess kind of maybe it makes sense. But really, this time he just kind of pulled up to the gate and was like, "Oh, okay, well, you better kill everybody in there and then open it." And yeah, you'd think the Nazis would be flooding out to kill us instead of just the one guy that came after us. It's also convenient that nobody else is driving along this path, maybe who has legitimate business and a pass to get past the Nazis, because they would just like come up behind us on the road and start honking or bypass us and be like, "By the way, there's a truck like idling there. I think there might be a guy sneaking around your base trying to murder you." Anyway, none of those things are happening, which means that everything's going to go our way as long as I can find this last health pickup in the level. We'll look for that next time, folks, and remember that Arbeit macht frei. Auf Wiedersehen.